The process of installing stone coat countertops is easy. In this video, we're going to show you an island that we created by doubling up MDF to make it 1.5 inches thick. The island was a monstrosity and it had slight overhang, so we wanted to double up the MDF to create rigidity as opposed to putting just a strip on the front perimeter of our exposed countertop. This adds a little bit of thickness and it adds a little weight, but it also makes it not flex on those overhangs. This is an option when installing that you need to know if you're a pro. Let's get started and show you all the tips and tricks of how easy it is to install right now. Here we go. Remember, when you subscribe to our channel, click on the red subscribe button and be sure to ring the bell so you get notified every time we have a new video. Thanks again. It's time to remove the drips off the bottom side of this finished piece. They're hard and they're ready to be sanded. I'm going to use a 50 grit metal sanding disc. This is a great tool of choice. Also, if the resin is still jelly, it's not hardened, but you want to remove those drips with a paint stick or a trowel, that's no problem too. You simply scrape those off about 3 to 4 hours after you've poured. Another good method is Tyvek tape underneath the bottom edge. That's going to create a slick surface to peel those hardened drips off later so you don't have to babysit your project. There's 3 distinct ways to remove drips, and this is a great one for new construction because I'll make a little bit of dust and it's not in my finished space. After I'm done removing drips, we're going to take this and install it in our showroom on the cabinet that we've built from scratch. We're going to get that set up and we're going to show you how that looks. Then our next home show, we get to show off this beautiful piece and see what the public thinks. But in the comments below, let us know what you think. We'll be getting started right now. The first thing that I'm doing is just removing the tips of the drips. That way it doesn't skip into my metal piece here. That's just a thing that I've done. I get rid of about half the drip where it's nice and smooth and it won't catch anything. And then I come just sand it to where I'm back down to the wood. I don't need to remove all evidence of drips, just where it's smooth to the touch. So you can see the difference. Here's where I haven't started and here's where I have. I'm just going to sand with 220 grit to remove any roughness and also address this bottom edge. I'm just going to knock that down a little bit in case there's any bumps right here, and then when you rub your hand underneath the countertop, it'll feel really smooth. Let's get started. Ready? Yep. Oh, that's sick. Woo, look at that pretty. I'm just going to use a scrap piece of plywood. We'll make triangles for this countertop to adhere to. It'll be a simple install and it won't bounce around while we're going down the freeway. All right, here we go. All right, let's pocket screw these. All this is really doing is giving me backing to screw in from underneath this cabinet and tie into our top. It's a simple solution for a strong application. Okay, I'm going to use pocket screws. They have a square drive. They also have a self-piloting, self-drilling tip that's really sharp. And I like the fine thread when I'm doing hardwood. When I'm building cabinets, that's what I'm using. And these will be the same screws that I use to attach this to my cabinet. But when I'm going through this into the actual countertop, I'm going to use coarse thread. Because when you go into MDF, a coarse thread screw is going to hold a lot better than a fine thread. That's a pro tip. When you preload them into your block, just push a little bit and they won't come out when you're trying to screw them in. Let me grab my square drive. Here we go. This is our template material. If you haven't seen that video on how we templated this island to get a perfect fit, go check that out anytime. This template can be rolled up and put in the back of your trunk. Sharpie works great on it, and you can glue it together with fingernail polish remover. It's a slick system for pros to get things done fast. These triangles, I'm just setting them slightly below the actual surface of my face frame. I'm just going to go below so that they're not proud and creating a tipping or a high point. You wouldn't believe the amount of strength this adds to a cabinet too. It's really a good practice. Okay, let's grab some screws so that when we're on site, we have the right application to tie this thing together. All right, I found some coarse thread pocket screws. Here's a coarse thread and here's a fine thread, and that's why we use a coarse thread going into MDF or medium density fiberboard. They just hold a lot stronger. I like using my old mixing bucks as travel companions. They work great in housing little tools like that you may have. We're going to grab a tape measure. We're actually going to grab 2. That way Mitch and I can both measure off this cabinet when we get it set in place just where we want it, so we have an even overhang all the way around. There's my drill. we're ready to install. Let's do this. Let's get this thing loaded up. We're gonna want 4 guys on this thing. Hey, Luke! Luke! Oh! So this is very, very heavy. All right, we're gonna screw this down so that it doesn't wobble around while we're going. We're also gonna use blue tape to hold the cabinet doors shut. You wanna use delicate surface tape because it's a fresh finish and we don't wanna hurt that finish. So this is what the delicate surface looks like. The delicate surface won't hurt the finish of the cabinet. Let's screw this in first, but all these drawers and stuff, I just tape them together. Blow this off. Our customer service and shipping has not seen this piece yet. I can't wait to see the reaction.
You can never carry a slab like this.
No way, you couldn't carry granite like this. Good. Here first. I'm 1 3/4 inches. I gotta go away. Let's go. All right, let's see how this thing got here. Hopefully it didn't.
I think we were real angry.
Nice.
Didn't move. Okay. 3.
Woo, that's heavy. Those triangles really help us. Now we could install into something. It's a super fast install and it can be undone fast too. I'll go grab that template material. And that's how you get a perfect reveal all the way around, because we got 1.5 inches all the way around. And when we measured, it was dead on, and that thing is templated perfect. Guys, I like to finish with liquid smooth. It gives it a beautiful finish. It makes it feel slick as glass, and it's just a cherry on top. Let's do it. Just wipes off any shop dust, and it just gives it a slicker, smoother feel. Smells beautiful. Guys, did you get some good tips out of this video? Do you see how easy it is to install? By using sound construction methods, you can get a long-term install that can be removed and replaced as needed. This home show display is going to travel with us, so it was important to use screws and not glues and nails so we can remove the top and get this thing transported. You can do the same thing in a home when you're installing. Other methods of building and installing stone coat are as follows. You can do a 3/4 inch piece, just leaving it the thickness of that standard MDF. You can router a small edge and keep it a nice thin sleek install. You can also do a drop edge, which gives you that 1.5 inch appearance all the way around the perimeter, so it looks as if your countertop is that thick, and then installing screw strips. This saves a little material and keeps it lighter weight for those easy installs. Upcoming in the links below, we're going to show you exactly how we build this way and how we install that way. Stay tuned, because Stone Coat Countertops has many videos teaching you how to turn MDF into stone. Guys, visit us anytime at stonecoatcountertops.com, and until next time from Stone Coat Countertops, you got this. We'll see you on the next video.